Welcome back to Down to the Wire. I'm your host, Broden Kreitler. Whether you're a diehard sports fan or love the thrill of competition, we've got the latest highlights, breakdowns, and stories that keep sports fans on the edge of their seats. Let's jump into this week's episode. Welcome to Down to the Wire. I'm your host, Broden Kreitler, and today I have CC and Lilah Nix with me from the St. Genevieve girls basketball team. Let's jump right into it. So, finishing the season, what is something you're most proud of improving this season?
Probably my emotions, and I think that's for the coaches as well, because at the beginning of the season, I'd be getting in foul trouble a lot, but at the end of the season, I kind of calmed down.
Yeah, it's something, doing the broadcast, we monitored a lot is you guys were always in foul trouble, and it seemed like it was a never-ending curse of fouls, and you guys definitely improved, and, the fouling got more controlled throughout the end of the season, which allowed you guys to play more, so that was good to see.
I'm most proud of improving our teamwork throughout the season. I think during the start, we were a little bit on our own because we didn't know how to work together fully, but I think at the end it got a lot better.
Yeah, me and Banks and Alex talk about that all the time. We're later into the season, you guys definitely look like you fixed and cleaned some things up, and you were playing a lot better. Towards the beginning of the season, it was a little tough, and you guys definitely had some tough games, but I think we like to talk about how you guys just improved a lot throughout the season.
Yeah, so. I think it definitely got better at even just our teamwork.
Mm-hmm. What's the biggest challenge you guys face, and how did you handle it?
Probably the freshmen, some of the freshmen coming up and playing with us, because I've been playing with the sophomores since 7th grade, but not so much the freshmen.
Yeah,
so to kind of get used to it.
Just getting used to new people and how they play is a lot to handle, and definitely something to get used to. So I could see how that's kind of a struggle.
I would definitely say the biggest challenge that we faced was our ages. We're definitely a lot younger than every other team that we played. At first, it was a little bit hard to handle. It was a lot. Most of us went from JV last year just straight into varsity. It's pretty hard to handle because we weren't used to it, but I think that the more that we practiced and the more that we scrimmaged, we picked it up at practice, and it became faster paced like regular varsity games, and I think that helped a lot, and I think we definitely improved on that.
Yeah, I think you guys just really had some problems with, your age and experience you guys had. Definitely being all sophomores and freshmen, you guys really don't have too much varsity experience, which really sucks, but you guys were able to overcome that and, hold your own against some older teams and more experienced players.
Yeah, and it was definitely hard having the freshmen come up, and we weren't even at the pace yet, so they didn't even know what the pace was.
Yeah, that's moving up to varsity is definitely the pace of the game.
Yeah.
That's really hard to, get used to. I know it was for me last year being a sophomore, so
yeah.
I would say that's something a lot of players struggle with, but you just, get into the groove throughout the season, and you eventually learn how to play.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite moment from this season?
The team meals, probably. We get together, bonding time.
My favorite moment was definitely whenever we had a team meal after. We all stayed after and played games together, and we just talked to each other. I think that having the team bonding was actually one of the reasons that we became a better team. We just worked together more, and that was definitely one of my favorite moments because we were all just talking to each other and getting along and just playing games, and it felt like we were just all best friends.
Yeah, that's something me and Alex were talking about on our boys basketball podcast, was just the team chemistry, and not just the games, but pre-game or after game, we all are best friends and really enjoy each other and have lots of fun. Just laughing and making jokes, pre-game, which is a huge blast and something everybody has fun with in the sports programs. So
yeah,
that's good to hear. When did you feel like the team really started to come together this season?
Mid-season to the end of season, because we kind of got in the groove with each other and we knew how each other played.
I would say it was after the Christmas tournament. We did not as well as everybody would hope, but I would say that that's whenever we realized what we started needing to like work on more at practices. So we were able to like put that into our practices more, and we started like just getting along more after that for some reason. Even though we did lose those games, it kind of just brought to our attention like, okay, these are beatable teams because they weren't like bad games. Even though the Potosi game did not at all go how we wanted, they weren't bad games. Like, we had played well, and we're like, okay, like, I think we are able to actually compete with the teams that we didn't think we were going to be able to. And later on in the season, we actually only lost to Potosi by 10, which was a huge difference. And I think we realized that we could compete more than what we were doing.
Yeah, like I said, I think you guys showed a lot of improvement, towards the end of the season, and that was really good to see. And so what were the main things that you guys were able to improve on towards the end of the season that really improved your guys' play?
We kind of like introduced like end of game situations, because in the beginning of the season we lost like a bunch of close games that we probably could have won. And I think that Walk had realized like, okay, they're not experienced enough to like know what to do at the end of games. So we started practicing that a lot more. And like, we even came back and beat Central when it was a close game, because that was after we had started working on like end of game situations.
Yeah. Your record was actually better than what I think a lot of people anticipated.
Yeah, for sure.
Which, we always talk about in here. But there was a lot of games that you guys really should have won that were like for instance, Valley. You guys lost by 2, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So just games like that help you improve a lot, being in those situations. And I think you guys were able to just grow from that and really improve from all those games you guys lost by a couple possessions. And how did the team support each other during those tough times?
We kind of just like told each other it was fine and laughed it off, because we're young, so we didn't really care if we would lose, because we would just come back in the next game and have fun.
I think we were all very good about just like leaving it in the past. Like, the next day we would show up at practice and we'd be back to joking around and like talking to each other. Like, we had acted like we knew we had lost the game, but we had acted like nothing had happened, and we were like ready for the next game and ready to improve at practice and ready to just keep pushing each other.
Yeah, it's definitely a good mindset to have coming off a bad loss. Everybody wants to dwell on the past and bad games, but really you just got to come to practice with a certain intensity and just look to get better, really. So
yeah.
What do you think the team did best this year?
Defense, probably, because our offense, we didn't really have one, so we had to come back on the defensive side.
I think the thing that we did best, honestly better than a lot of teams, were we never gave up. Like, even the games that were pretty far out of our reach, we just kept playing and like using it as practice to just keep getting better. And that was a very important key in like actually improving, because a lot of teams just hang their heads and just give up and like don't keep trying to push back. But we never really did that, and we always had like a lot of fight in us, even if we were losing by a lot.
Yeah, and like you said, that definitely goes a long way as far as, you guys are young groups looking to improve, which, I mean, you can't expect to win every game with such a young group that you guys have, but just using those games as practice, like you said, definitely helps a lot. And as we saw, throughout the season, you guys improved a lot, and it was really beneficial for you guys.
Yeah.
What skills do you want to improve on most coming forward?
Most definitely my ball handling skills, like under pressure, and my shooting in long range.
Yeah, that's something I need to improve on too myself, the ball handling. But yeah, those are good goals and good things to improve on.
One of my main goals is to start off the season like stronger. Like, we had kind of not found our teamwork yet, and our shots weren't really falling, which is normal for people who don't like coming to the gym every day. It usually takes a little while, but I definitely want to start off the season like a little bit stronger. And now, especially since we like know each other more, we're more comfortable and better with the pace. Like, I think it'll be a lot easier just to ease into it rather than just like having to build it all up and like completely restart.
Yeah, I feel like our basketball programs, the boys and girls, do a really good job of doing things outside of season to help you improve. I know Coleman does a lot in the summer. He does a lot in the fall, which really helps us to, be in shape and just already prepared for the season. And I think Miss Walk has you guys come in the off season a little bit.
Yes, she does. And I also think that if you could text any of our coaches and be like, "Will you stay after practice?" and they would 100% say yes if they can. Like, they would do anything to put work in for you.
Yeah, that definitely goes a long way. Not just in season, but definitely in the off season for a big improvement.
Yes.
So what's the next step looking forward to next year for you guys?
Communicating with each other and like helping each other and learn how each other play more, so we can like kind of read each other's minds on the court.
I would say that the next step we definitely need to take or like work on would just be our talking to each other and like knowing where we're at on the court, because again, that goes with like not really knowing each other as a team. I would say even though it did get a lot better, we still don't fully know each other. So I think we could just work on that a little bit more, and I think that's definitely the next step that would help a lot, would just be knowing where we're at on the court and knowing where to find each other.
Yeah, I broadcasted all of your guys' home games. I agree with you there. That is something you guys definitely can do better at, is communication.
Yes.
Not only on defense, but offensively. Sometimes you guys get a little mixed around and, things don't go the way you want them to. I would say communication can take you guys a long way.
Yes, I agree.
And then, who would you say is the funniest on the team?
Ooh, I would definitely have to say Cece, just because whenever you can actually understand what she's trying to say, it's always really funny because you never know what she's going to say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm around her in, our 6-hour body conditioning class, and you guys are always laughing and making jokes, so I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
Speaking of funniest on the team, how is the team's chemistry this year?
Pretty good. I think it can get better because at the beginning of the season, we didn't have one of the starters in because of an injury. But I think when she got back, our chemistry was
Filer.
Yeah.
How many games did she miss at the beginning of the season?
4 of them.
4?
Yeah.
Was it tough playing without her? I know she's a big key for you guys.
Kinda, but we had to get used to it with Vivian. But we got used to it.
So Vivian stepped up.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had a couple big games off the bench, and at times she would step up and play some big minutes. So
it was really good. It just it felt like we had all knew each other for so long, which most of us have, but we do have new freshmen that came up, and they all just jumped right in with us and just started joking around, and they were all just exactly like us, and I hope that they felt really welcome, and it really felt like they did because they were instantly with us.
Yeah. Watching you guys, it definitely shows that you guys are all friends and you have really good team chemistry. You guys are always making jokes, laughing on the court. So that's always great to see out of a young team.
Yeah.
And then lastly, what are you most excited about for the future of this team?
Probably our potential. I hear a lot of people say that our team has potential, and probably seeing how far we can go in the future.
Yeah, being a young team, you guys just were kind of forced onto varsity, which is good for the improvement of you guys, playing hard competition. And that definitely is going to help you in the long run for just overall team improvement. And, if y'all stick with it, everybody thinks you guys can be really good. Come senior, next year you can take a big step, which I think everybody's just looking forward to. So
definitely playing Potosi again, just every year, because I think we can definitely beat them, especially as we continue to grow.
Was that big rivalry or something?
Yes, we don't get along with Potosi.
Oh, I know. How many times have you guys played them? Twice this year, right?
This year I think was 3 or 4.
3, yeah. I think that was your guys' first game, I believe. Yeah.
Yes.
And which you guys got better. Like you said, you lost by 10?
Yes.
On the last game, so that's definitely a good leap from the first game. That's all I know.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you for joining me here today, and best of luck next season, and to all the other girls on the St. Genevieve basketball team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a wrap for this week's podcast. Thank you for listening and tuning in. If you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to go check out our one-stop shop website for future sporting events, rosters, blogs, sponsors, and live broadcast. To get there, just look up sghssportsdream.com.